Hey there, welcome to this discussion. I am your host for this little series, this little impromptu series that's on my heart to share with y'all. I'm Chrissy Key Rollins, and we are talking about healing relationships. If you've caught the last couple videos, you're already up to speed, or if you just have a pulse and you're human and you've been paying attention in life lately, relationships are at an all-time peak of tumultuousness, and it is time for you to either evolve, dissolve. It's just time to up level, and that might look like resolution. It might look like a breakthrough and healing. And if you are in a relationship that's just been going back and forth, have that push pull, and you're just not quite sure which way to go, I encourage you and invite you to check out this series, follow along with it, apply and try out some of these approaches and techniques at home for yourself, and see if they make a difference in your relationship before you make that final decision on if you stay or if you go. So yesterday, and hey, whoever just joined live, welcome. If you're watching the replay on my YouTube channel, I'm doing this recording live in my Facebook group, so hopefully, or on my Facebook business page, whichever. So hopefully the audio feed will stay up to speed with us and we'll have a clear communication. I'm going to keep it brief today too. I want to keep all of these, really digestible and watchable and timely in their length. So I'm going to dive right into it. Catch up on the other two videos if you like what I talk about today. So yesterday I mentioned that today I would be talking about taking it personal and dealing with the defensiveness in your relationship and in your partnership. So this is like one of the #1 reasons why we feel this burn in this twin flame dynamic, why we're constantly agitating and frustrating the other person, mainly because we take it all so personal. What comes out of them feels personal. Their attitude, their tone of voice, the way that they're speaking to you, the things that they're doing, the things that they're not doing, it all feels so personal because it's all directed at you. You're the one that's absorbing it. You're the one that's observing it. You're the one that's receiving it. You're the one who's witnessing it. So if you are feeling like your beloved is giving all their awesomeness out to other people and not over to you, it could be because you are taking everything personal. So what do I mean by this? What I mean by this, yesterday we talked about how when we met this person, we thought that we were two peas in a pod. We thought this was a soulmate, easy peasy connection, only to wake up and find out not so easy, right? So this person, this beloved, this one that you saw and you connected with is still present in the relationship. It's just not the forefront, not the first aspect of themselves that they bring to the table, but they are your safe place and you are their safe place. So you know how you have those times where you're just not really feeling it, even though you know that you should be kind or nice or patient or understanding, but you're just agitated and you're just snappy and you just feeling kind of sassy and you just don't feel like minding yourself and you just feel like expressing yourself completely unfiltered without any judgment, without any ridicule, without anybody pointing out how you could be doing anything different. Yeah, you got it? So does your partner. They have moments where they're thinking about things that frustrate them that have nothing to do with you, but you are their safe space. So when they bring their frustrations to you, they're going to bring all the energy, all the feelings, all the emotion that is going on inside of them whenever they think about this thought. They're going to let it all out on you. Now, because you're on the receiving end, it's going to feel like they're just dumping it all on you. It's going to feel very personal. It feels like they're going to be attacking you. But I ensure you, or I invite you to take a step back and question if they really are doing this or not. Hey, Jackie, so glad that you are here live. Welcome, Shug. You are really versed at this self-healing work and empowering relationships as well, and empowering yourself within relationships. So if you got anything to chime in, girl, I am all ears, and I'd love to know if this is hitting home for you as well. So what comes at you is not personal. It is personal to them. It is where they personally are at. It's where their personal energy is at. It's where they're wrapped up in their own stories, from their own past history, from their own experience, and you are just the safe place for them to deliver unfiltered, where they don't have to put on that mask, where they don't have to do the considerations, where they don't have to do the niceties that you have to do when you're out at the grocery store, picking up your kid from school, or at work. We have to put up a front all the time to keep in all this turmoil that we have going inside of us. That's how things kind of run in our society. It's an agreement that we made. You leave your grief at home, don't bring it out on the streets. Sometimes that happens and it's a big old mess. We see what happens with that, right? So we're suppressing, we're holding in, we're feeling all this frustration all day long, and then we get in front of our partner and we just want to let loose. It's what you came together to do. It doesn't have to be a harmful experience. And when you take it out of being personal, you can stop being the victim of this person dumping all over you, and you can start being the one that is holding the space for your beloved to share what is on their heart, on their mind, unfiltered, and knowing that they still love you. They still think that you're awesome. I'd love to know your thoughts on this. Would love to know. Jackie says, hey, Chrissy, this happens all the time, obviously, that I've come so far with. Yes, for sure. So this is very, very common, and especially for our beloved men. Boys, I love you so much. Women, we need to be more supported by society, but boys, you really need it because you don't know what to do with all of your emotions. Nobody showed you which direction to send them. You don't have any constructive use of it. You're not given permission to release any of it except for through aggression and anger, because you know that's manly. In our society, that's kind of the way it goes, that aggressive anger, right? Or that aggressive display of emotion. So, hey, Tanya, welcome, Shug. If you got any thoughts, please chat in. I'm going to be wrapping this up in the next minute because I got a client to catch up with, but so this is what I want to talk about today. What comes out of the other person isn't personal to you. It's personal to them. It's what they're feeling. It's just what they're feeling. It's not the truth of their experience. It's not what they're most committed to. It's not their true belief about you or life or anything. It's just how they're feeling in the moment. We all have those moments where we just can't connect to our best self. And that's okay. That's why we have these amazing partnerships, to give us this space. But if you're taking everything that's coming out of your partner personal, if it feels like a constant attack towards you, I invite you and encourage you to take a step out the next time you're in this moment and say, I am not the victim of this situation. I am just the witness of somebody that's in crisis. And see how that changes your experience of what's happening. Now, if somebody's being directly abusive, most likely, like verbally abusive, if they're being directly physically abusive, move away. Get away from that space. Get yourself safe. That is always first and foremost. If they're being verbally abusive, even if it's coming straight to you, it has so much more to do with their own internal stories and issues and the way that they talk to themselves on the inside, and probably how they were spoken to throughout their life. That's what they're projecting outward. So they're personally showing you what it is personally inside of them, but it feels very personal because it comes outside, and nobody likes to have that stuff thrown on them. It's just how they feel in the moment. It might be true about how they feel in the moment, but it's not the absolute truth of what they think about you. If it is, then they should be able to share these things in a cool, calm, collected manner, in a heart-to-heart conversation, at which point you probably will choose to go your separate ways. But in those moments, it's just how they feel. And nobody has given us, there hasn't been enough examples in the world on how to feel those feelings and to articulate them in a constructive, positive way to your loved ones so that they fully understand. And I'm here to take a stance for the relationship and saying that this is the space where you should be able to get messy, where you should be able to let it all go wrong, where you should be able to fall apart or step totally out of integrity and not be judged for it and not have it held against you. But when it feels like a personal attack, our defenses go up, and that's what we do. It's human nature, and that is fine. If you've been doing these things, it's okay. It's okay in the sense that now that you know that there's another option, I invite you to explore it and see if it leads to a different result that's a little bit more aligned with the truth that you know about that partner of yours and what it is that you truly desire in this life. I'm going to read this last comment and then I'm going to wrap this up. So thank you so much for being here. Definitely drop some comments, be it on Facebook, YouTube, wherever you're watching this. Let me know. Can you relate to this? Was this helpful? Do I need to expand it a little bit more? I'm probably going to let this sit for a couple of days, revisit it on Monday, pick up the series. So plenty of time to watch these videos. Give me some feedback. Let me know what direction you want me to take this in. I know which way I'm feeling called to, but this is for you. So I want to know exactly what you want. Hey, Galia, so glad you could be here. I'm just wrapping up, sweetie, but watch the replay and leave me some comments. Jackie says, my husband is very sensitive, so when he just gets upset and starts to push my buttons, I hug him or tell him to go outside and relax. Yeah, I send my husband on a motorcycle ride. I'm like, don't you got somewhere to be, baby? Don't you need some riding, right? They just need to unplug. They need to refuel themselves, right? But they don't need to take it all out on us. We just have to understand what they need so we can help them to meet that. I'll say, I know you're stressed out and this has nothing to do with me, but I really don't like the way you talk to me. Talk to me like this, so I'll talk to you when you feel better. Exactly. Being able to articulate that, say, I can tell by your choice of words that you're not in a space to really share with me. Or I might say, because I've been doing this for a little while, so I've kind of fortified myself a little bit in a way and really have removed myself energetically from being so tangled up. And I might say, okay, and my partner and I, we actually have this, like, okay, I just need to vent. I'm going to say some nasty stuff. I just got to get it out. And we just let it go. And then we can just nod and empathize instead of taking it personal or defending or attacking back. Pretty powerful. Pretty powerful. And I think it's quite beautiful. And there's something that I like about it more than just having it all together and being all perfect all the time. I'm a recovering perfectionist. So it's nice to be able to get a little sloppy and still be loved and supported and accepted, right? Okay. Jackie says he also takes when I do it to him as a personal attack. You know, my husband, I'm working on him. I'm working on him integrating all of these great philosophies. But right, it only takes one. It only takes one person to flip the dynamics, right? When I stop freaking all the time, chances are he's going to start to settle down, right? So I'm focusing on my healing so I don't do it as often. Exactly. Gilia says, I love you. Chrissy, I love you too, Gilia. Thanks for being here. Catch the replay. Leave me comments. Join me for the rest of this series. Like this stuff, share this stuff, subscribe to my channel, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all for even considering.